Hello, everybody. Welcome to our unveiling. To begin with, we'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land in which we gather is the traditional and unceded territory of the Abequid Mi'kmaq First Nations. Thanks to everybody that worked on this. There was a lot of people worked on it. It was began by the Good Neighbors Club, the Good Neighborly Club, Seniors Club, headed by Debbie Mullen, who of course all the members of the club had some little thing to do with it, some more than others, but that's all right. Many of the members of our club went to school here, so it's kind of nice that we're able to come back while we're still able to walk around. Not all our club went to this school because there's lots of people have moved in, and they, like everybody else, are getting old, so they're members of our club, but they didn't attend this school. And Debbie can't be here today because she's in the hospital recovering from some surgery. So just the project started with, let's get a stone and put a plaque on it. It sounded so simple. It didn't work out nearly that simple. Wayne Corrigan was put in charge of it, and I think he ran into everything except the telephone pole. There was blockages all the way around. Mainly getting this thing lifted into place, getting rid of trees and so on. So it took a long time to do it. This school incorporated the communities of Tracadie Cross, Blooming Point, Afton Road, Glenroy, which later became Scotchford, 10 Mile House, and part of Donaldson. The school was located on this site from 1961 to 2009. The Sisters of St. Martha taught at the school for many years, and so they developed some of us, help us develop into something, whatever we ended up being, but we're doing all right. But Sister Rita Kelly is here today, and she went to this school, and I'm hoping she'll say a few words for us. Would you?
I just want to thank Rose for calling me and asking me to say a few words. I can't believe it's 65 years since Blooming Point School was closed, and we were on a move to Tracadie Consolidated. We were 12 students in Blooming Point. 9 of us were related, and 3 were not. So, leaving that cozy comfort spot was not easy. I can remember thinking, well, I have to make new friends. The sisters were here. How are we going to cope with that? And we were always used to running home for lunch. What would we do at lunchtime? I can remember getting this red plaid lunch can, and I practiced most of the summer how I would eat out of it. So the transition was not that easy in my mind. But I must say, when September came that year, I headed for the bus with my red plaid lunch can, and would you believe it? Our school bus, was a closed-in back of a truck with seats around it. Can you imagine in today's standards how that would go over? But we managed, and we picked up the students on Blooming Point Road that had walked to school, and we were all together. Now, the transition went very well. I wasn't used to the sisters, but I got real immersion in the sisters because the first winter we were here, as you all know, the Blooming Point Road blocks very easily. So we were caught up here at school, the whole bus full of us. So we went over to the convent and we stayed there overnight till the storm. We decided the next day. So it was quite immersion, and I settled in very well. The class sizes were certainly bigger. I managed that. And I made new friends, and the diversity of the students was quite wonderful because I wasn't used to that in Blooming Point for sure. But the one thing I do remember well is and what helped really with that was Teresa McDougall was my first school teacher here, and she was born beside my home in Blooming Point, which gave me a lot of security. So Sister Raymond Francis, later known as Georgina Johnson, was the principal here, and I can still remember her enthusiastic spirit and wanting the best for each student. I can remember her pride in this new school. She wanted us to take care of it if it was our own home, and she made every effort to do that. And she was also very active for outdoor activity. So when winter came, she combined her recesses in the morning and afternoon into an hour and a half at noontime. And off to Duggan's Pit we went for skating. And then a year later, Joe McGuire came as teacher here. And knowing Sister Georgina, she didn't let anything pass by. So in no time, we had a grant for the government to build a new rink along here someplace. So we had the rink by the school. And I was just talking to Joe a few months ago, and he remembered quite well how Sister Georgina got the bug in his ear, and off he went to get the grant. And I can remember her skating very gracefully with her flowing veil and long habit. Now, some of these trees were planted by us. Sister Georgina had us out planting trees. So I'm not sure which ones they were now, but she did plant trees with us. And then I come to the academic part, which I was used to in Blooming Point, but I certainly wasn't used to the religion class every day, and the music by Sister Winifred used to come out here and have the music. And at Christmas time, we all went together as the school all together, and we went over to the old hall that was over there, and we had our Christmas concert, and everybody played their part. I can remember acting in one of the plays. And then in the spring, there was a music festival in Charlottetown, which we all got involved. There was some dancing, some singing, and some choral recitations. So, in all, we were quite involved as a community of school here. And the last few days, I was reflecting on what made our days at Tracadie Consolidated School a memorable one. I would say it was the commitment and the spirit of the community that was fostered among the teachers, which enhanced the gifts of each student. And I think that same spirit was in their wider community as well. And I believe this plaque, which will soon be unveiled, will represent the spirit of this, not only the school, but also the community. Meister Eckhart, a German philosopher, 1400 years ago said, if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. So I say a big thank you to the organizing committee for making this milestone a reality.
Thank you very much, Sister. There's a few chairs up here, so if anybody wants to come up, there's half a dozen chairs up here, and a couple back there, so help yourselves, folks. Now, a lot of the seniors that went to this school, you know, they moved on to other jobs and so on. But Leonard Mullen, when we all went about our separate ways, Leonard kept coming to school. Every day he'd come to school, driving the school bus. So he's here today, and I think we should give him a big round of applause. Anybody that's here that was on his bus would probably remember being called animals. It'd just be a jest, but they all knew it was in jest. Shane Pendergast went to this school too, and he was among the last graduation group here, and he agreed to say a few words about his time in school. For their graduation project, Shane and Ethan Craig created a memory book of the school, and it was really well done. And one of the pictures from that is engraved on this plaque. And so we're just happy that everybody got to do something here. It made things easy. Now, Blythe Thompson is back there taking pictures. Would you say a couple of words here?
Thank you for that. I didn't mean to stand out by taking pictures, but thank you for the invitation to be here. I didn't go to school here. I went to Dunstaffnage, just down the road, of course. But Joe was telling me my mother taught here, so I'm gonna go back and ask her if that was the case. But this community is such a wonderful community, and this is such a fitting monument for a community that has a lot of history here. When you look at Glen Allendale and this whole area, it's full of history and full of families that stick together and really make it special to be in this community. So congratulations to everyone that took part in this. Congratulations to everyone who went to this school, and this is a great tribute, and I'm glad I could be a part of it today. So thank you.
Thank you. Shane Pendergast is here, and I kind of skipped over. He's not all that easy to skip over. He's fairly noticeable fellow. He was going to say something about his last year here. So, would you come up?
Yes. Thanks, Gerard. Usually when I'm calling you up, it's about fixing my lawnmower. He always gives me a hand. I will never be able to say that the classic phrase like, I walked this many miles to school through ice and snow, because I only had to walk from about down the road there at the Blue House. So it only was about 2-minute walk, but I parked there today at my parents' house, and I walked up here intentionally because 17 years ago today, on this day, I walked my last time to Tracadie Cross Consolidated School. So I wanted to recreate that. I remember so many things being around here. I remember the first time I was in grade 5, finished grade 5 when the school was closed, and then we went to Mount Stewart. I remember that winter playing hockey at the rink, which I do pretty much every night, and Gemma McDonald was there, and lots of people in the school here. And I remember hearing the rumor they're closing the school. I couldn't believe it. And I think when the school closed here, that was the first time I learned the lesson that you don't know how good you have it until it's gone. Because you make the classic complaints about how I have to go to school, but once that they were closing, and I said, oh wait, I actually love this school. The teachers were amazing, bus drivers, everyone made it an amazing experience. And this is where I met my best friend 17 years ago or longer than that, but my first day of school, I met my best friend Ethan Craig, and I'm going to be his best man this summer. So we're still best friends. All the good memories, sliding down the hill at recess in the winter, playing on the playground, and our gymnasium at the community center. And I'm just so happy that with the community center and all the events that happen there, playing baseball and the spring flings that we used to have. And the one day that I felt like a celebrity when my grandma Stella picked me up with her brand new orange Toyota Yaris. Didn't have to walk home that day. We got in, we did the long way home. Took a cruise in that. It was pretty cool. Anyway, it's just an honor to be here, and thanks so much to the committee to have set this beautiful plaque in place. And I look forward to bringing my kid here someday when I have a child and telling them about my memories. Thanks.
Is there anybody else that would like to put some input here? If there's, oh, here we go.
Oh, JJ.
I heard that, Marion. Thanks, Marion. You heard it too. Some people know me. Some people know me because I'm John Rowe, and I grew up down in Donaldston. And we don't consider part of Donaldston, we consider all of Donaldston being the Donaldston community. But I actually predated the official opening of the school, because when I came here in grade 10, we had to come to the nuns, and we had a classroom in the convent, but we were so anxious to get out of this little classroom, and I can't remember anybody else. I'm getting older, you know. I can't remember anybody else other than Joe Power, God rest his soul. He's not with us today. He and I graduated in 1960. Sister Raymond Francis, God rest her soul, beautiful, beautiful soul. We had a classroom. We went up the stairs, and it was on the right-hand side of the stairs. And I can't remember the exact time we got in that room, but I know it was not. It was before the official opening of the school, because I think the school was still under construction, well under construction, but we were so happy to be out of the convent and into our own classroom. But we did have maybe grade 8 and 9 and 10. Some of you with better memories than me, maybe you were in that classroom. If you are, come forward, because only ones that I can remember. I know Freddie Power was in the school, and John Lacey, but other than that, it was a fantastic achievement, because we'd come from a one-room school, and there were probably, like Sister Rita says, in Blooming Point, where all Danny Kelly and Billy Kelly and George Kellys were. We had probably 10 or 12 kids in the school also, and it was a tremendous experience to come up here. And we played basketball in the basement of the school, which was still under construction. But it was a tremendous achievement, and the Sisters of St. Martha were such an achievement for the educational system. It's just unbelievable what they did for higher education. So ask Freddie Power how many people were in that classroom.
Freddie, get up here.
Thanks, Gerard.
Answer up, Freddie.
Thanks, John. Actually, it was a pretty crowded little room. John Lacey and I sat at the very back, and the window was right behind me, and it was a great place to create distraction and blame it on somebody else. Is there anybody else that would like to say something?
Hi, I'm Kim Griffin. I grew up in Blooming Point, and I echo the comments about the sisters, and I echo the comments about the educational system at Tracadie Cross. I see lots of people whose children I babysat here. Lots of my family are still here. My parents still live in Blooming Point, and Blooming Point is Blooming Point. And I'm so thankful. I see Bernadette Power here as well, and Trish Power, I mean. And the Powers were a very strong force in our life. And one of the things I recall often, and I tell people this, is that the sisters loved us, and they also pushed us. So they pushed us to read in church, they pushed us to sing, they pushed us to try and meditate, which was really funny to have us a bunch of kids sitting at the convent and not speaking for the whole day as well. That was quite a challenge. But I think just in terms of, even if we said to Sister Laura McCabe that the sweat was dripping down the back of our neck, we didn't want to read at church, she still made us do it. And to this day, I'm thankful because it made me not so terrified to talk to people in public. So thank you, Tracadie Cross, for all that you did and for our community.
Is there anybody else that would like?
I wasn't planning to do this, and I wasn't sure if I was even going to get here because I'm getting over some kind of a bug. So I'm going to grab a chair, but that doesn't mean I'm going to talk long. It just means that I'm recuperating. I feel like I should say something because I'm probably one of the people who grew up with the school in my sight line. It was kind of part of my playground. After school hours, you were, come up the road and the school was there, and it was just a place that you kind of did hang around. Kindergarten was not good for me. I think it was the fact that we had just built a new home, the house, Mom and Dad's house next door, and I, for some reason, I guess just too much change, I hid in the woods every night, kindergarten. And God love Rita McQuaid, she marched me down the road every day with a sore stomach. I hated it. But I don't know, grade 1 came, and it was the little school then. We had the grade 1 and 2 were in the little school, and I think I was maybe the last of the generation that was grade 1 and 2 there, and then everybody was in the big school. But I don't know, once I hit the little school, I loved school. I absolutely loved it. Sister Mary Walker was my grade 1 teacher, and she just felt like a second mother to me. And I know not every student has a positive school experience. I can say that being a teacher, but I did. And usually those of us who become teachers, often we've had positive experiences. We liked school. That's why we still did school. So Tracadie School was a great place to be educated. We were pushed, and Sister Laura McCabe, she even taught us how to sit and hold our legs and straighten up our back and all these other things that were besides the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. But no, it was a fantastic part of the community, and just to be able to walk across the street to go to school was really something for me. And I have to tell a little secret now. Some of the McQuaids here will, when Rita was, she was the janitor at the school, custodian for many years. Lisa Kelly, my partner in crime, who we grew up this high together, best of friends. And as I said, the school didn't stop necessarily at 3 o'clock. We'd be up hanging around, and one of the things we used to love to try to do is we'd figure out where Rita was in the school vacuuming, and we'd climb in the open windows and go into other rooms and kind of check out all the kids' works, probably looked at teachers' desks, and everyone thought we were angels, but we really weren't. We were up to no good sometimes. But anyway, Tracadie Cross was a wonderful school, wonderful teachers, good mix of there were still a couple of the sisters teaching when I went, but other teachers who were very dedicated and prepared us well for high school. So it was sadly missed when it went.
Sister Mary Walker, I think, was everybody's mother in grade 1. And we were always practicing for the Christmas concert, or what was it that used to happen in town, the music festival. And one day we were all in a group, and of course everybody had to participate. One day Sister Winifred came over to me and she said, "Gerard, just move your lips." It didn't bother me, but I guess it bothered everybody else. If there's nobody else wants to speak, I want to invite Bob Hughes to come up and unveil the plaque. Would you do that? Where do we start? Oh, you got it. Yeah. That's it. Bob spent his whole teaching career here, so he's formed a few minds here. So if anybody deserves to unveil this, I think Bob's a pretty good choice. Now, if there's nothing else, we got hamburgers and hot dogs and lemonade and cake at the center. So if you all want to come over, we'd be happy to have a chat. Okay? You're welcome. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think you were doing the same.